Alright, so in this problem, I have 2 to the power of x minus 3 to the power of y is equal to 7. So I'm going to first start by rewriting 7 as 4 plus 3. So now I have 2 to the power of x minus 3 to the power of y is equal to 4 plus 3. And 4 is the same thing as 2 to the power of 2. 2 squared. So now, I'm going to subtract 2 squared on both sides and add 3 to the power of y on both sides. So then these two cancel out, and I'm left with 2 to the power of x minus 2 squared is equal to 3 to the power of y plus 3. Now from here, from 2 to the power of x minus 2 squared, I'm going to factor out 2 squared. So now I have 2 squared times 2 to the power of x minus 2 minus 1 is equal to, from this, I'm going to factor out 3. So now I have 3 times 1 plus 3 to the power of y minus 1. Now, if I have something in the form a to the power of m times a to the power of n, this is equal to a to the power of m plus n. So 2 squared times 2 to the power of x minus 2, this is equal to 2 to the power of 2 plus x minus 2, which is equal to 2 to the power of x. So now I have 3 times 3 to the power of y minus 1. 3 is the same thing as 3 to the power of 1. This is equal to 3 to the power of 1 plus y minus 1, which is equal to 3 to the power of y. So now, if you notice here, I have 2 squared times 2 to the power of x minus 2 minus 1 is equal to 3 times y, 1 plus 3 to the power of y minus 1. Well, 2 squared, this is going to be an even number, right? And 3, this is an odd number. Now, 2 to the power of x minus 2, well, 2 to the power of any number is even, and an even number minus 1 is odd. And 3 to the power of any number is odd, and an odd number plus 1 is even. So I have an even number times an odd number is equal to an odd number times an even number, meaning these two odd numbers are equal to each other, and these two even numbers equal to each other. So I have 2 squared is equal to 1 plus 3 to the power of y minus 1, and I also have 2 to the power of x minus 1, 2 to the power of x minus 2 minus 1 is equal to 3. So these are my two equations. So let's first go ahead and solve this first one. So I have 2 squared, which is the same thing as 4. So I have 4 is equal to 1 plus 3 to the power of y minus 1. Now if I subtract 1 on both sides, I get 3 is equal to 3 to the power of y minus 1. And we want 3 is the same thing as 3 to the power of 1. And since these two bases are the same, this means that y is equal to y minus 1, meaning y is equal to 2. Now for my second equation, I have 2 to the power of x minus 2 minus 1 equals 3, meaning 2 to the power of x minus 2 is equal to 4, and x is equal to 4. So x equals 4 and y equals 2. Alright, so in this problem, I have x to the power of x to the power of 4 is equal to 64. So I need to find the value of x here. So for my solution, I'm going to first start by taking the power of 4 on both sides. So now I have x to the power of x to the power of 4 to the power of 4 is equal to 64 to the power of 4. Now, if I have something in the form a to the power of m to the power of n, this is the same thing as a to the power of n to the power of m. So I can switch the places of m and n here. So in this case, we can think of x to the power of 4 here as m and 4 as n. So if I switch the places of these two, I get x to the power 4 to the power of x to the power 4 is equal to 64 to the power of 4. Now I'm going to replace 64 with 8 squared. So now I have x to the power of 4 to the power of x to the power of 4 is equal to 8 squared to the power of 4. Now, if I have something in the form a to the power of m to the power of n, this is equal to a to the power of m times n. So a to the power of 2 to the power of 4, that's going to equal a to the power of 2 times 4, which is equal to a to the power of 8. So I have x to the power of 4 to the power of x to the power of 4 is equal to a to the power of 8. Now I'm going to let x to the power of 4 equal to the variable y. So now I have y to the power of y is equal to a to the power of 8. And if I have something from a to the power of a is equal to b to the power of b, this means that a is equal to b, meaning y is equal to 8. Now remember how we let x to the power of 4 equals y. So if x to the power of 4 equals y and y equals 8, then this means that x to the power of 4 is equal to 8. So now to solve this equation, I'm going to take the fourth root on both sides. So the fourth root of x to the power of 4 is x, and so I have x is equal to fourth root of 8. So now to check, my original equation was x to the power of x to the power of 4 is equal to 64. X is equal to the fourth root of 8, so now I have fourth root of 8 to the power of fourth root of 8 to the power of 4 is equal to 64. Now the fourth root of 8 to the power of 4 is simply 8, so now I have fourth root of 8 to the power of 8 is equal to 64. Now, this is the same thing as 8 to the power of 8 over 4 is equal to 64, meaning 8 to the power of 2 is equal to 64, and 64 equals 64. So this is right. Alright, so in this problem, I have 4 to the power of x is equal to 40. So to solve this, I'm going to first start by taking the log on both sides. So now I have log 4 to the power of x is equal to log 40. Now, if I have something in the form log a to the power of b, I can move this exponent b to the front. So this is equal to b times log a. So in this case, I have log 4 to the power of x, so I can move x to the front. So now I have x times log 4 is equal to log 40. Now, I'm going to go ahead and divide both sides by log 4. So then these two cancel out, and now I have x is equal to log of 40 over log 4. Now, log 40, this is the same thing as log of 4 times 10. Is log 40 is equal to 4 times 10. So I have this over log 4. And now if I have something in the form log a times b, this is equal to log a plus log b. So in this case, I have log 4 times 10, so this is equal to log 4 plus log 10, and now I have this over log 4. Now log 4 plus log 10 over log 4, this is the same thing as log 4 over log 4 plus log 10 over log 4. And log 4 and log 4, these two cancel out, so now I have x is equal to 1 plus log 10 over log 4. So now log 10 this is the same thing as 1. Log 10 is equal to 1. So now I have x is equal to 1 plus 1 over log 4. And log 4 is equal to 0.602. So now I have x is equal to 1 plus 1 over 0.602, which is equal to 1 plus 1.66, meaning x is equal to 2.66.